I really don't know what I'm gonna title this video, but this is some raw, honest truth right here. I have 3 children, 12, 9, and 3. I'm 38 and I'll be 39 in a couple of days, a couple of weeks. And I ain't got it all together. I just figured it all out, and now I'm trying to put what I figured out into action. This is just me. So my children are going through this process of school, and although they're young right now, what I'm realizing is I don't have a plan for my kids. Like, I don't have a plan for them because I didn't have a plan for me. Nobody showed me how to do a plan for my kids or how to plan anything out for myself. My whole life, I just been flapping and fucking flailing, looking for somebody to help me, guide me. And the whole time I had to guide myself. And I'm just now figuring this shit out. When I thought that I was supposed to have some fucking assistance, and I never had the assistance that I felt like I needed. I'm talking about, listen, man, I was up in this motherfucker at 11 years old on the radio winning all kind of tickets, money. By 13, Rap-A-Lot Records had then spotted me and wanted to sign me. By 18, I got my first radio interview with T. Gray off 97.9 The Box with no team, no record deal, no album, no song. Got my first song played on the radio at 18 by Mean Green. And I didn't have no backup with none of this. I was just doing some shit and making some shit happen. Nobody saw me and said, let me help her, because she looked like she was to get ready to do something big. And I look back on that shit now like it's motherfuckers that's paying big money to do what I was doing in my teenage young years for free. What I was making happen for free, with just building relationships with people and not realizing just how well I was able to build the relationships. I am floored and fucking flabbergasted at this point that nobody saw value in me. And I was chasing the idea of someone seeing the value in me and lifting me up, instead of me seeing the value in me and me lifting myself up. I never had a fucking plan. And even when I knew I had what it took to make it, I still didn't know how to go about creating a plan to make it. This shit would have had to happen by way of accident in order for me to have made it. I didn't have a plan. Nobody tried to help me create a plan. So now I have these children, and I'm over here wooing and wailing over the fact that I didn't make it in my dreams and shit. And I'm looking at them like, well, what y'all gonna do? You know, and how am I supposed to set up a plan for them? I don't give a fuck about school like that. I'm not supposed to sit up here and lie to y'all and say I care about education like that. Of course, I was academically inclined. Comprehension skills was above average. I was making all kind of academic recognitions on these school tests. But at the same time, I never had anybody to actually hone in on that, support it, and actually nurture it. Nobody. Was this because I was a girl? Was it because I was a dark-skinned girl? Was it because I was fat? I don't know. It's a lot of different reasons that come in my mind as to why nobody singled me out and said, let me help you. People just let me fall. They let me fail. My mama put me out at 18. I had just made it into the 12th grade. Now, what I'm thinking about is the fact that my mama didn't even really like me, man. She didn't even like me. And that had nothing to do with me. That was because of my daddy. And now I'm dealing with the same issues, the same kind of baby daddy issues, where I have to look at my children and get upset and angry because they fathers decided not to stick it out, not to help at all, not to do anything that they were supposed to be doing in order to, help these children actually grow into successful and productive human beings. I'm doing this shit by myself, and people expect me to not be upset and mad, man. Now, of course, motherfuckers say you should choose better. Yeah, I could have chose better if I would have knew the truth, but you motherfuckers stay lying, and motherfuckers stay making decisions based off that lie, to the point where when all the results come, all you can do is look at the motherfuckers when you get up in my age and say, damn, motherfuckers lied. I was following the wrong road. And I wasn't even following nobody. I really was on my own by myself, and the only guidance I really had was the music. That's really what I was listening to. Man, fuck this culture. This culture is full of drugs, sex, and violence. Drugs, sex, and violence. That's it. What kind of results do we think we're going to get from nothing but drugs, sex, and violence being in the music? Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of non-productive degenerates. That's what you're going to get. Lord have mercy. Had I not been an academically inclined person who was gifted with empathy and compassion, I probably would have been a motherfucking degenerate too. It just so happens that I was built differently. I feel like I was supposed to go through what I went through because I was built differently. But now it's time to come tell the story. And as I get ready to actually tell the story, I look back on that shit and just be like, yo, like I was cheated. I feel like I was cheated because I was dark skinned, because I was a woman, because I was fat. I feel like everything that the society said I wasn't supposed to be, that's what I was. Although I had all the talent in the world, I still was not that girl that they wanted to put on a pedestal. Now, mind you, whether I had a message or not, whether my intentions was good with my music or not, nobody cared because I didn't have what they felt like I should have. That's crazy. And the fact that I brought into that lie and didn't push for myself, waiting for somebody else to see it in me and validate it and push for me, I didn't miss out on my whole goddamn life. And then in my 30s, I was angry about my 20s. I'm getting into my 40s. I turned 39 in 2 weeks. I'm not fit to be angry about this shit no more. I'm going to just let it be known that I feel like I was cheated. I felt cheated. I don't feel like I had the support that I needed. And now, as a grown woman, I'm looking at how I could be that support system for my children. Now I'm realizing I don't even know how to create plans, life plans, like real life plans. I know how to do the goals, make the goals. I know how to reach the goals, but then what? I know how to structure the shit and say, okay, this is what I'm doing it for. But at the same time, life plans, like actual follow through life plans, 5-year plans, nobody has taught me how to do that shit. I'm just now figuring out finances and shit. I mean, I will still check to check trying to figure this shit out. I don't know how they got this shit set up weak, but I know I just want to change it for my kids. And I'm just thinking back on this shit like, yo, this shit is whack, bro. The way this shit went for me was whack, man. And a lot of this shit got to do with the music. Nobody want to sit up here and admit it's the music. Nobody want to say our culture is trash. The culture we have created from 1980, because we're going to leave the 70s out of it. Leave the 70s out of it. The 70s was lit. The 70s had some of the best fucking music ever. You understand? The 70s was I should have been born in the 70s. The 70s was the shit. You can't say not one goddamn thing bad about the 70s other than pimp culture. But other than, and then pimps was cool. They wasn't just that bad. They was that, they wasn't just that bad. I don't know. I wasn't there. This is some stuff that I heard. But the 80s on up, man. Our whole culture trash. Trash. Can't nobody get in the comments and tell me one thing about our culture that's from hip hop, that's in that music, that's been conducive to the growth of the black community. Give me one. You got nothing. You have nothing. The music is trash. We're repeating it to ourselves on a regular goddamn basis. Then it's with a beat. Then you put an emotion to that shit, and you saying certain stuff, wondering why we getting the results that we getting. And we all want to act like it's not the music. The music can't raise nobody. You supposed to rap. Man, listen here, man. Thoughts, words are powerful. Thoughts, words are powerful. And once you put feelings behind those thoughts and those words, I'm guaranteeing you some action is going to come behind it. Now, if the results that's happening in the black community ain't enough to say, hey, maybe it's the music, maybe it's the entertainment that we have influencing our children and some of the fucked up adults, because a lot of our adults are still children. They was on drugs and shit. Drugs stop your brain growth. I don't know if y'all know that, but it do. Drugs is serious. Drugs is not a game, man. We all fucked up. The whole community just fucked up. I don't even know what we can do at this point. Oh, God damn. Wow. That's fucked up. That's fucked up for somebody that's a solutionist to feel like they ain't even got no solutionist. We're going to have to do a whole overthrow. A whole goddamn overthrow. This culture is trash, bro. The whole goddamn culture. And it's not our fault, but it's goddamn show our problem at this point. I don't know what the fuck we going to do, but we better figure it the fuck out. We better figure this shit out before it's too goddamn late. I can't imagine what the world is going to be like when my fucking kids grow up. Oh, my God. back to what I was saying about the plans for their life. I don't have them. I don't know how to make them. It is not that I don't know how to make them, y'all. I don't care about the school system right now. I know they not teaching my children what they need to know. And it's like they got me working 40, 50 hours a week to where I'm tired when I get home. I don't want to talk to them about nothing. And I don't know what the fuck did influence them when I wasn't around. This is a struggle, y'all. Like, they is really fucking over us with the whole system. I want to homeschool my kids and fucking cake because the bills got to get paid. Who gonna pay these motherfucking bills? If I homeschool, I'm trying to come up with all kind of, man, it's just like, bro, and I'm saying I don't have a plan and I don't know how to make the plan, but it's just like, it's the options that I have. It's really the options. Like, do I really want them to go to school and be indoctrinated into this bullshit? I don't. I really want them to be business builders. That's really what I'm trying to put into their heads now. Build this business. I want you to own a business, build a business, get something going so I can hone in on whatever your talent is and start working on it. I mean, I know that's what my focus is, and I know in creating plans there's going to be pitfalls and going back to the drawing board. I understand that, but it's just amazing how your childhood play into how you raise your kids, man. And me raising my children is bringing up a lot of shit from my childhood that's making me understand why I came out the way that I came out and why things are the way that they are. Not to mention that everybody go through some of the same shit at different times. Everybody do. But at the same time, it's like, bro, I was built the way that I was built and I handled the shit the way that I handled it. Now, a lot of the way that I was built is the reason why I went through the shit that I went through too. You know, it's like, it's a lot of different components to this shit. It's a lot of different, what would you want to call them? Agitators or triggers, outside influences as to why things went down the way they went down with me. But I know I'm at this point where I don't know, maybe that's that middle age shit. I'm at this point where I'm just looking back on that shit like, boy, this shit was a setup for real. Boy, they set this shit up smooth. Boy, this shit was being set up before I was even born. And now that I look back on it, the thing is, we can look back on it now and talk to each other about it. Our parents couldn't do that shit. Look back on it, look around, look across the world, look overseas, look everywhere and see the stories and compare them. Our parents couldn't do that. We can do this shit now. And I want us all to come to the conclusion that music fucked over us. It fucked over us. All of it fucked over us. The only people that came and actually gave us anything of substance was Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, Outkast, and then they was on some bullshit sometimes too. Who else? It really was out there. Like, bro, like past 2000, man, they wasn't putting out nothing but trash for us to listen to. And then the women was confused. We was like, are we selling pussy or are we giving pussy away to get love? Is that what we supposed to be doing? Are we twerking? Are we in the club stripping? What do we? Am I supposed to love myself or am I supposed to be aware of that thing? I don't know, nigga. They done fucked over us. And if your mama was at work and you was listening to this music, then you was under the impression you was supposed to give all of yourself away to get a man. Who was boy crazy was me, but who wasn't just male centered? Boy crazy, but not male centered, which means I was rotating boyfriends. I wasn't promiscuous at that time, but I was rotating boyfriends, and I didn't have any feelings or attachments to these niggas at all. I was doing it as a way to validate who I was and my looks and stuff. Like, because, you know, growing up, you're fat, you're black, you're ugly, ain't nobody gonna want you. You get told that shit enough, you start trying to prove the lie wrong. That's where you get fucked up at too. Trying to prove a fucking lie wrong. You can't prove a lie wrong because it's a fucking lie. There ain't nothing wrong to prove about it. You supposed to ignore fucking lies. I didn't know that. I didn't even know it was a lie. And that's where really we get fucked up at too, not knowing what the lie is and trying to make decisions based off a lie. Oh my God. All them goddamn lies that was told to me through the music that I tried to make decisions based off of. Look at where the fuck I'm at now. Go back through all my goddamn videos and look at all the shit that I done went through. Don't nobody need to be going through that kind of shit just because you want to fit the fuck in with a culture that is against you. The culture is fucking against you. It's never for you. It's nothing in the music that's telling you that you're going to be great. There's nothing in the music that's telling you to be smart. There's nothing in the music that's telling you to use your imagination to create. All the music do is tell you to boast, brag, hurt, harm, fuck. Boast, brag, hurt, harmful. That's it. That's it. I'm raising my children in an environment and in a culture that is non-productive and non-conducive to their growth. And as a product of that culture, I just want shit to be different for them, and I ain't got no goddamn plan.